Imagine you're on a boat. The sun is shining. The sea is calm. You're sailing from Tahiti to San Diego, a dream trip. For Tommy, Oldham and her fiancé Richard Sharp, this dream was their reality. But the ocean is as unpredictable as it is beautiful. What started as a paradise adventure in 1983 quickly turned into a fight for survival against one of the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded. This is their incredible, true story. In September 1983, Tommy and Richard, both experienced sailors, were hired to deliver a 44-foot yacht, the Hazana, from Tahiti to California. It was a 4,000-mile journey they were more than equipped to handle. They set sail into the vast blue expanse of the Pacific, full of love and optimism for the future. The first couple of weeks they navigated by the stars, enjoyed the peaceful rhythm of the waves, and planned their life together. But they were sailing directly into the path of a monster. Unbeknownst to them, Hurricane Raymond, a Category 4 storm, was churning its way across the Pacific. In the days before advanced satellite weather forecasting, they had no idea of the scale of the danger approaching. The first signs were subtle. The sky turned a strange, ominous color, and the sea grew restless. Soon, the wind began to howl, and the waves started to build. These weren't just big waves. They were colossal, 40-foot walls of water crashing down on their small vessel. The Hazana was tossed around like a toy. For hours, Tommy and Richard battled the storm. They fought to keep the boat pointed into the waves, a grueling and terrifying task. Richard, the more experienced skipper, sent Tommy below deck for safety, while he stayed at the helm. Tethered to the boat, Tommy remembers the deafening roar, the sound of the wind and water like a freight train. Then, in one violent, catastrophic moment, the boat pitch-pulled, flipping end over end. Tommy was thrown against the cabin wall, suffering a severe head injury that knocked her unconscious. When Tommy awoke, 27 hours later, the world was silent. The storm had passed. But the silence was more terrifying than the noise. The main mast was snapped in half, the sails were gone, and the engine and electronics were dead. She was alone. She desperately called out for Richard. Scouring the wreckage, she found his safety tether snapped. Richard was gone, swept overboard by the monstrous waves. The love of her life had been taken by the sea. The devastation was absolute. Not just the loss of her fiancé, but her physical situation was dire. The boat was crippled, taking on water. Her head injury left her disoriented and in pain. She had no navigation, no radio, and was thousands of miles from the nearest land. Grief and despair washed over her. It would have been so easy to give up, to let the ocean claim her too. She later wrote that she heard a voice inside her, an auditory hallucination perhaps, but a voice that told her she had to survive. Summoning a strength she never knew she possessed, Tommy began the impossible task of saving herself. First, she had to stop the boat from sinking. She used a pump to get the water out of the cabin, a physically exhausting job. Then, she had to figure out how to sail again. Using a broken spinnaker pole and a storm jib, she managed to fashion a makeshift sail. This tiny piece of canvas was her only hope of propulsion. But where to go? Without her navigation tools, she was lost. But Tommy was a skilled sailor. She remembered Richard teaching her how to use a sextant, a classic maritime tool for celestial navigation. It was her one remaining link to civilization. Using the sun and the stars, she was able to get a rough idea of her position. The currents were pushing her south, away from her intended destination of California. Her best bet, she calculated, was to aim for Hawaii, over 1,500 miles away. For the next 41 days, Tommy Oldham sailed a broken boat across the Pacific, completely alone. Her diet consisted of canned fruit and sardines. At one point, she ran out of food and had to survive on peanut butter. She battled infections from her injuries, crushing loneliness, and the constant, haunting grief for Richard. The nights were the hardest, filled with the vast emptiness of the ocean and the stars that once guided them together. She talked to herself, to Richard, to the sky. Anything to keep her sanity intact. She faced moments of total hopelessness. One day, a ship passed in the distance, but it was too far away to see her. The despair was crushing. But each time that inner voice, that will to live, pushed her forward. She was determined to survive, not just for herself, but for Richard. To give up would be to let the storm win completely. Finally, on the 41st day, after an agonizing journey of 1,500 miles, she saw it, a shape on the horizon. Land. It was the island of Hawaii. A Japanese research vessel spotted her drifting into Hilo Harbor and came to her rescue. She had done it, against all odds. She had survived. Tommy's story is one of the most remarkable tales of survival at sea ever recorded. It's a story about the raw power of nature, but more importantly, it's about the incredible strength of the human spirit. It's a testament to resilience, resourcefulness, and the will to live in the face of unimaginable loss. Tommy suffered a severe head injury that left her with lifelong difficulties, and the emotional scars of losing Richard never fully healed. But she survived. She even returned to sailing, refusing to let the tragedy define her or destroy her love for the ocean. Her journey is a powerful reminder that even in our darkest moments, when all hope seems lost, there can be a flicker of strength within us that can guide us through the storm. Tommy Oldham didn't just survive the hurricane. She navigated the treacherous waters of grief and despair and found her way back to shore. Her story is not just about survival, it's about the enduring power of love and the unbreakable will to live. Thank you so much for watching. If you were moved by Tommy's incredible story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of survival and human resilience. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.